Boys, instead of doing what a lot of these guys are doing of just picking one single best knockout of the year, I'm going to switch it up. We're going to go through every single division in the UFC, starting with flyweight, probably going to end with heavyweight. I don't think we're going to visit the women's classes because at the end of the day, who really cares? I know we're just going to pick one fight in every single one of those divisions and pick which was the best knockout. And I'm not going to lie, we had a bunch of just great knockouts this year in every single weight class, of a very highlight field year. Let's start off with flyweight. Flyweight, there were a good portion of people you could have picked here, but I think we have to do this one. UFC Fight Night, Rosenstrike versus Gaziev. We had the fight that gave this dude a title shot. I'm talking about Matt Schnell versus Steve Erceg. Now, we also have to remember, this is Matt Schnell, a dude with not the greatest chin in the world. So are we surprised he went out cold? No, but the title implications after this fight, and just again, one of the best knockouts this year. The step away left hook that just flatlined Matt Schnell. It had to be here. While I'm going through these guys, let me know in the comments below, would you put anyone else in these positions? But let's go down to Bantamweight. Bantamweight is a no-brainer. This is on par, or even this could be considered knockout of the year, to be honest. I'm talking about UFC Vegas 87. Again, Rosenstrike versus Gaziev. And like I said earlier, just a highlight filled year this year. But obviously, Bantamweight division, we had to go with Vincius Oliveira taking on Brendo Sopaj. A crazy fight. I think this was a third round knockout. And definitely needed this because from what I remember, it was even. First round won it, second round Sopaj won it. So Oliveira definitely needed this KO. He needed to win this round, and crazy backed him up against the cage, and that flying knee crumbled him. I can't believe that this happened this year. For some reason, this knockout, it just reminds me of 2023. I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't think it was this year. Maybe because it was so early in the year, but again, one of the best knockouts this year. And arguably one of the best knockouts, period, especially because I believe this was on the prelims. Yeah, this is a prelim fight, so very underrated. One of the best knockouts we had this year. Let's go down to featherweight. Featherweight, there's a lot of good knockouts this year, but I also have to take into consideration, level of opponent. I have an honorable mention here. Honorable mention, UFC 310, Bryce Mitchell, Kron Gracie. Shout out the boy Bryce, doing what he had to do against that nut hugger of a Gracie. Honestly, one of the worst Gracies. I know people are like, you gotta have some respect, he's a Gracie. How does that make any sense? Yes, he might have that legendary Gracie name, but if he's just a complete shitbag, why does he need all this, respect? Respect, in my opinion, earned, not given. So shout out the boy Bryce. But for the best knockout of 2024 in the featherweight division, it's a no-brainer. Has to be the main event, UFC 308, Ilia Topuria being the first and only man to knock out Max Holloway. Is it sad to see? Of course, but you have to put some respect on Topuria's name. I'm just going to say it. I know there's been conversations people having here and there, but I'm going to say he's had the best back-to-back wins and the best title fight and title defense resume-wise in the entire UFC as a whole. So because of that, you have to have Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway here. And is it the most clean knockout in the world? No, there's definitely other ones on this list where they're just flatline out cold. But again, it's who you're doing it to. You're doing it to Max Holloway, so it has to be here. Let's go down to lightweight. Lightweight again, a no-brainer here. Has to be UFC 300. It has to be the Gaethje versus the Max Holloway fight. Max Holloway, shout out to Max on here twice, but yeah, I would say this is the best knockout of the year and arguably one of the best knockouts, if not the best knockout of all time. Build-up wise, point to the center, swinging at the end. Max Holloway's up 5 rounds. He doesn't need to do this shit, but he does anyways. People are saying this is a fight of the year. Absolutely not. Go rewatch this fight. For the large portion of this fight, it's a one-sided beatdown from Max Holloway. So I can't consider that fight of the year. But knockout of the year, 100%. Knockout of all time, 100%. And yeah, there's nothing that needs to go on about this. Everyone knows this one. This knockout has been viewed millions upon millions of times. Let's go into welterweight. Welterweight was a little bit harder to pick, I'm not gonna lie, but welterweight, I have a recent one here, welterweight division, UFC Fight Night, Yan versus Figueiredo. I have the Muslim Salikov versus Song Kenan fight. This one, it wasn't the most entertaining fight in the world. When I was doing my breakdown on this fight, I was saying, battle of the unks here. And I'm not gonna lie, that is what it looked like, but Muslim Salikov early on just showed he was so much faster than Kenan, and it didn't even take 2 rounds. He was so much faster, and then he landed that nasty spinning wheel kick again. I think this is the best knockout, especially in that welterweight division we had this year. There wasn't a lot of flashy knockouts in welterweight, I did notice, so easy to put these guys here. And I did think Song Kenan would have a little bit more success, dropping someone like an Ian Gary, but then I just remembered this dude has negative fight IQ, so that spinning wheel kick, I'm not even fully that surprised about it. Shout out to the boy Muslim Salikov. Let's keep moving down. Welterweight division, probably a no-brainer for a lot of you guys, because again, this knockout has been seen probably millions upon millions of times by now. I'm talking about a second round KO at UFC 308. Shara Bullet taking on Armin Petrosyan. And first round, nothing too special. First round, Armin having some success here and there, but Shara Bullet definitely taking that round. But then you just see some Tekken ass moves from Shara Bullet, landing that double spinning elbow. So literally, I saw someone on Twitter post a side-by-side video of Shara Bullet landing that double spinning back fist, and then I believe it was a Tekken guy doing the exact same thing. That boy copied that shit straight from Tekken. Shout out to Shara Bullet though. Again, one of the best knockouts this year, and especially in that middleweight division where, I'm not gonna lie, we had a little bit of a dip of some nice highlight reel knockouts in middleweight. Light heavyweight, oh, this was a nasty one. I just remember this one. Light heavyweight, UFC, Whitaker versus Aliskerov. This was a nasty one, guys. Like, there's some nice light heavyweight knockouts, like Alex Pereira. And I know a lot of you guys probably have Alex Pereira in that list, but you need to go back and at least rewatch this knockout. It was disgusting, but I have Johnny Walker, Volkan Oezdemir. If you guys don't remember, I'm looking at some of these highlight pictures here. It's disgusting, but Johnny Walker gets stumbled back to the cage bad with, I believe it was like a jab or at least a straight, backed him down to the cage, practically knocked out at that point, and he's laying on his back looking at Volkan Oezdemir holding his head, and Volkan Oezdemir lands the nastiest uppercut straight to Johnny's face. I believe it broke his nose and everything, flatlined that dude, his feet curled up and everything. It was disgusting. One of, if not, I think it is the most violent knockouts we had this year in light heavyweight. And of course it had to be with Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker always gets knocked out so goofily. It's either he's getting some weird cartoonish knockout or he's getting knocked out very cartoonish. One of the funniest, not funniest, but it was pretty funny, but one of the most violent knockouts this year, to be honest. But let's keep going down. Heavyweight division, I noticed we didn't see many great highlight reel vicious knockouts. So because of that, as much as it pains me to put it here, this is a nice one, but not the biggest fan of the guy, as we all know. UFC 309, John Jones versus Stipe. I think I don't like having this here, the spinning heel kick to Stipe's ribs. I don't like it, but I'm gonna have to put it here, what else? I looked through a lot of heavyweight fights this year. Not a lot of them had some highlight reel knockouts, it's weird. Even someone like a Tom Aspinall, there wasn't many highlight reel knockouts. So definitely, if you have any other suggestions for heavyweight, let me know. But that's the best knockouts in every single division in UFC. I'm going to take a little bit of a break for Saturday and Sunday. Come back on Monday because your boy is still fucking sick as hell and it's terrible. Monday, get ready because we're doing the best submissions in every division this year. Let me know if you have any suggestions for that one, but the next few weeks stacked with nothing but bangers, so stay tuned. Leave a like on this video and subscribe to those post notifications turn on so you don't miss any of those videos. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you guys in my next video.